flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Hamill.
Here.
Mr. Roddy's not here. Mr. Bruno.
Here.
Mr. Facto.
Here.
Mr. Randall.
Here. In minutes, all board members have been provided with a copy of the minutes of the last meeting. A motion will be entertained to approve and accept the minutes of the regular meeting of June 27, 2023, providing there are no additions, deletions, or corrections. I'll get a motion.
Motion.
Aaron.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Hamill.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno.
Yes.
Mr. Facto.
Yes.
Mr. Randall.
Yes.
Just, you know, maybe put two of them, so.
Addresses, we have no.
For review.
I got a couple communications. Thank you card. Town of Schuyler Falls, thank you for the payment of $1,200 for the mowing of the Schuyler Falls cemetery. It is greatly appreciated as the cemetery is dependent on donations and money. We are a non-profit organization. Thank you for your help to keep the cemetery and ongoing. The officers from Schuyler Falls Cemetery. Thank you so very much for the invite to participate in the 175th anniversary parade and opening ceremonies. We regret being unable to attend due to some health issues. God bless Ray and Bev Noah. Monthly reports, everybody should have received a copy of the monthly reports. Can I get a motion to accept?
I'll move.
Jim?
Second.
And roll call.
Mr. Hamill.
Discussion, please.
Go ahead.
Howard, on your monthly report, it was just a minor error. You put the date of 7/16. I think you meant to put probably 7/17 for tonight, for today.
No, I was in last night doing monthly report.
Oh, you were in last night on Sun, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
good.
hadn't seen the
All right.
truck here. I
that's-
was like, you working
I sort of
late on
thought it
Sunday.
was tonight, but fine, okay. Thank you.
All right, so roll call.
Sorry.
Mr. Hamill.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno.
Yes.
Mr. Facto.
Yes.
Mr. Randall.
Yes. All right, receipts. Town clerk, $1,088.25. Mason Lane Water, $1,811.76. Morrisville. Did I say Morrisville or Mason Lane on that one?
You said Mason.
Okay, I just want to make sure. All right, sorry. Morrisville Water, $13,737. Woods Mills Water, $5,931.56. Judge Barber, $2,984. Judge Van Artwick, $310. Cash receipts, $14 music in the park, $176.25 from music in the park, and $60.50 music in the park. Those are the revenues from the food sales down there that help offset the cost of the bands. $1,700 CL treasurer, recreation, and $176.25 again music in the park. $715. Can I get a motion to
Yes.
accept?
Move.
Mr.
Second.
Facto. Mr. Bruno?
Mr. Hamel?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Facto?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes. There were no planning board minutes or zoning board minutes. Department reports, councilman.
Yes. I've got 2 vouchers here, and you've got the numbers on them, I believe, Kevin.
For the record, young man.
It's for the rec department for purchase of gasoline and at Stewart's here on Route 3. And one of them is for $117, which was on June 26th. The second one is for $85.42 on July 12th. Now, these are unsigned. No one signed for this. So I would like to pull these for review, just like you did a couple of months ago, Sherm. I would like to pull these for review. Because if someone is gonna go purchase something with our credit card, I think they should sign for that. So that's my rationale behind it.
So you want to sign the receipt? Is that what you want to do?
Sure, of course. When they're the ones there purchasing it. So whoever that employee is, it could be multiple employees.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It's only one, and we just started this practice. This is for the non-ethanol fuel at Stewart's that everybody wanted to stop buying the canned stuff. So that is Sam Campbell. I will speak to Sam about signing the receipts in the future. I personally know that he handed the receipts in. I'm comfortable with these going through with making the exception that from now on he signs the receipts if that's good for you. That way we're not holding Stewart's up, because there'll be a whole another month to get paid, and we just started that down there. I don't want to really mess it up.
So does he do this with a credit card?
Yeah.
So
So
then the credit card had to be signed to
Correct.
make the purchase.
yeah, and that's where the voucher.
If it's a credit card, it had to be signed for that amount, and when you get the bill, you're gonna see that amount to that person signing it.
Yeah, not to be impolite about it. But if you take a credit card and go fuel up your car, you don't sign. I've done it hundreds of times. I'm sure you have. So it's the same here.
But he just said he did sign.
Well, I said he didn't sign because the signature isn't on here.
Correct. He did not sign the receipts. I know Sam's been getting the fuel. I know it's for retail mowers. I know it's saving us money, so this will be all talking about. And again, if I didn't know he had got the stuff, I wouldn't say it on the record up here. But Sam has been getting the fuel for down there, because it's cheaper to buy it on the non-ethanol pump down there. And I don't see any sense of not paying these bills. If you feel uncomfortable, and I'm fine with that. If you feel uncomfortable, we'll write those 2 numbers down when we approve the cash receipts that you approve other than these 2. I'm fine with that, so that the rest of us can pay this bill. If
So-
the board is willing to do that.
Why have you gotta do this and override my request? What is that all about?
I am not overriding your request. That's a board decision, but what way they want to go with this. All I'm saying is, we only pay the bills once a month. This bill will be in the rears by then. Probably incur interest on it. And it doesn't look good if we don't pay our bills for the town. In the interest of that alone, that's why I'm asking that we at least pay the bill. Because I know what it's for.
Can I just add, so basically, Ray, I know when I get gas for OTB, I put my credit card in and I send them the receipt, which is unsigned, I mean, because you get it out of your thing. So basically, all you're asking for is Sam to sign this receipt when he turns it in.
Which makes sense. I
That's
have
the
no
only thing
problem.
that, right?
It's a good policy.
Yeah, I agree with that. So whoever got the gas with the town credit card, puts the credit card in, gets the gas, and then when the receipt comes out, just sign it, they got it. Yeah. So,
My point is, he is so busy that maybe, you know, from time to time, an employee would go get gas. It's not the end of the world to me. I mean, it means nothing.
Right.
They would simply sign it.
Correct.
It's all right. It's not a big thing.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be him, it could be one of the summer help.
If someone would, like, if you would contact him and in the future, have someone sign it. That's the end of it.
I'm okay with that, Rich.
That's-
That's what I said,
That's fine.
I'll say we should pay it, because if we're behind with Stewart's for 2 months, we'll probably lose the account. But I would think we would pay it, but Kevin, you inform him from now on, every receipt he turns into you must be signed.
Whoever gets it.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
That's exactly what I
Okay.
said,
Okay, we'll go with that.
as long as everybody's good.
That's
with
fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
it. Alright.
So
You want the voucher numbers on those for the record?
Because we didn't sign for them.
Or, you got?
You're going, well, why don't we wait, and if you're not gonna approve them, if he's
No, I
gonna,
think,
I already approved, you know.
yeah, but you're not approving them until the end of the, then, to the claim part. So if he's going to single out those two, then we'll just
I'll
do
give you
his
the-
vote without the two.
that's what I'm saying. I'll
Yeah,
give
we
you
don't,
the
so we
voucher
don't need
numbers.
them.
Alright.
I've got it where the two Stewart,
Yeah, so I'll give you the
receipts.
two.
Yeah.
20, 230, 0869, and 202, 300, 921. The 202, 300, 921 is the 8542, and the other one is 11703. And like I said, those are for the non-ethanol fuel. And he very well may be right that one of the girls signed it. But I know that's what it is. Right.
Okay, it's fine. Had a request for a street light at the intersection of Christensen Drive and Salmon River Road. That's,
To go along with that, I was gonna bring it up later, but also Nancy Drive and the two across the street. It's in that 40-mile-an-hour zone that's populated, and there's no street lights down through there. Very dark.
Street lights, not stop lights.
Street lights.
I thought you said stop.
yeah.
No street lights. I got the same request.
Yeah, I can get with Troy Conley and just give me him, because I didn't write him down. Howard, just give me him after so that I know what I'm talking about, because I gotta fill out the request. And I say, as long as the board good with those lights being, I'll take care of it.
Thank you. What is the status on the request for a survey over on Rixon Avenue to create the turnaround over there? Has anyone been, at this point, hired to do that? Because, I mean, it won't be long, you're gonna need a turnaround over there. Well, this fall you will, but surveys sometimes take a little while to, you know, to do and.
All that
so forth.
land has been surveyed as part of the Rixon Ave Water Project, so that whole area is already surveyed. So we have up-to-date information on who owns what and where the boundary lines are, so it's just.
So did they map out where the proposed turnaround is going?
That would actually be right away or an easement that we'd have to write out. That is not completed yet, and we still have to speak with the owner of Earth Waste Management to see if he's okay with doing it.
Okay. And here, going back a few months ago, you had mentioned about a written agreement with the people, with the residents on Rixon Avenue. There's 4 or 5 of them right now. And the question I had brought up was regarding when they get public water over there, because they're on a site over there that was a Superfund cleanup site at one time. And my request was, are we reviewing if they're gonna have to abandon the wells they have now? And this is something we had to do up in Woods Mills when that public water supply went in. So as part of the agreement with those 5 people, was that included in the agreement with them that they would clearly understand upon getting public water that that contractor who's putting this in is gonna have to, part of the contract is gonna have to be capping the wells that they have now. So they will not be able to use them in the future.
I believe we had a long conversation on that.
And no one ever got back to me on it.
Okay.
So I'm asking.
I believe we had a long conversation on that, and as far as them using the water to water their lawns or whatever, I don't think there's gonna be an issue with that. I can run that by
I
Ryan
don't believe they
Davis.
can do it.
Well, I don't know. I will find out about that. As far as the pipe out of the ground, I know that Ryan Davies and the health department said that if they had enough piping in the ground, they wouldn't have to buy new lateral lines because they can pull whatever they need out to go to the street connection and then use that same water line going back to the house. So it's up to them whether they want to put a new water line in at that time or use their existing.
Yeah. Is that language in the agreement?
What's their?
I would like to have that language put into the agreement with those people. I haven't seen the agreement yet.
That,
The written agreement with the people on Rixon Avenue.
right, because all I have is a draft of that, like I told
Could
you.
I see it? I've never seen it.
Stop down and.
Have they all signed it?
No, it's a draft. Each one is it's a block draft letter, so we'll attach each person's name to it as we go through up there. It has to be notarized so that the signature is notarized. I don't know quite what you're asking for, if you want, because I don't know if there is a need to do what you're suggesting, but I'll check with the health department and see what their
Yeah.
regulations are. I can call Ryan Davies and find out exactly what's going on with that. Like I said, I don't think they're gonna make them force them that down the well or cap them, because I believe they can still use that water as long as it's not potable. If they don't agree to, all of them agree to have the water, then it's gonna be a dead issue one way or the other. We won't know until we go around with the signature sheets.
What troubles me is the last home on Rixon Avenue, they have a drilled well, which is right on the border of a Superfund cleanup site. And that guy's been in here multiple times complaining about the odor of the water, the color of the water, and so forth. And I just can't believe that we could supply public water in that area and not have this requirement of having those wells capped off.
Well, there's gotta be a law on that. I would think, like Kevin said, he's gonna have to check into it
Yeah, that's up
and
to
see what the
them.
law, I mean, we can't, just because we think it should be, I'll agree with you, I don't think that water should be going on the ground even, but if the law says, no, the health board says they can have that, they can water their lawn with it if they want, they can use it in their garage, they just can't drink purposes, well, then we can't do nothing about it, we can't stop it.
The only regulation, or the only demand
Yes.
that they said from the
But I
health
don't know if it's
department.
still gonna be the same. I don't know if the law is still the same. I'm not a lawyer,
I'm not either.
I'm just
And-
saying.
And he's right, the discussion did come up a
Right,
couple of months ago,
I remember that.
and there was supposed to be a letter written to the health department at that time. Maybe you overlooked it or got busy, and I understand that too.
I don't remember
Please check it out,
me saying
is all
I'm
I'm
gonna write
asking.
a letter, but I said we'd look into it. The only demand that they said is that the wells had to be disconnected from the house. That's the only thing
I remember that.
Ryan Davies told me that had to happen, is that they cannot have both supplies going into the house. And that's when he told me if they have enough line in their existing wells, that what, to be God's honest with you, I asked those people how far away their wells were from their houses, and most of them told me 10, 15 feet away. And I'm like, well, they're not gonna have enough existing line to go then to the road. And that's when Ron Davies was like, well, don't forget, it goes down 50, 75, 100 feet or whatever. If they got enough to pull out and go to the road, they can use that as long as.
But I mean, don't forget the important factor there. How far is the well from their septic system? That's
That-
really, what really is the important
Not
thing.
with public water, there is no.
Of course, we'd be alleviating that issue, yes, I agree
And
with
we'd be
you on that.
alleviating the issue of them being next to a Superfund, so that's why we're trying to get the water issue taken care of up there. So I will check with,
Could I
the
drop
health
them,
department.
could I drop them an email?
I'll take care of it. I mean, I can't stop you from doing whatever you wanna do, Reggie, but I will tell you.
Well, I was on the water committee for 3 years, so I have a basic knowledge of this.
Well, this, you don't need any basic knowledge, cause you're only asking a question to them to answer. So, like I said, I can take care of it.
I don't wanna take up too much time, but if I can just say, in the past, when we were putting in water lines, exactly what you said, Reg, people had to disconnect their wells.
Yep.
They could not have their well connected in any way to the public water.
Correct.
But, with that being said, they could use that water for watering their lawns, washing their cars, even watering livestock. It was not that they had to fill the well in, they just could not connect it to a water line. And that was the end of the story.
I can show you a few around town that they may fill in. Up in Woods Mills, for example. Several of them.
No, and God knows what the regulations are now, so the easiest way to do it is to check right down there. I'll talk to, like I said, Ryan Davies or Mr. Canoza, one or the other. They're gonna give me.
He's gone.
Yeah.
He's retired.
Yeah, he still does per diem down there. Unless he retired from all of it.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, cause he did retire, but they still got per diem down there doing a bunch of shit. Stuff down there.
In my final thing, and I hate to even bring this up, but I will. Sure, I realize, and you're entitled to it, that you're back on the insurance. And so, you know, you're entitled to it, so I'm not objecting to it. However, my question is a cost-saving one. And because the two of you are on the insurance now, wouldn't it be cheaper if you were on the policy husband and wife? Because we have 3 policies. We have the single one person. We have another one, which is husband and wife. And then we have the family one, which is unlimited number of people. So the point is this, certainly it's just a money-saving statement. That's all it is. And I know you're a conservative, that's why I'm asking you.
Well, I can
Bring that one
answer
to
that.
Donna.
You know, you're absolutely right, but because of the insurance, we have to go on separate. I don't
I didn't know
understand it.
that, I'm asking.
No,
Yeah, I don't
Simply asking
understand
a
it. It would
question.
be smarter and cost savings for the town if husband and wife, because and for us as well, but, yeah, but we had to go on separate.
Okay,
I
you've
agree with
answered
you.
my question, it was
I agree with you, it would
Simple
cost me a lot
question.
less money, so. But,
Teamsters has a husband and wife.
Yeah,
yeah. but
And what did they give you for a reason?
we got the reason from the bookkeeper, so that's how we
Mary,
found out.
I just don't remember why.
I mean, if
I would
there's a
have definitely
way,
rather done that, it would have saved us money, her not.
Yeah, as far as
As well
family
as the
plans, they're
town,
5
yeah.
times what a normal
Mhm.
single is, so usually 2 singles are
yeah.
cheaper.
Okay, you answered my question then, thank you.
If you can figure that one out, let me know, because I still got like 5 months left.
You got that long left? Oh, that's right, the end of the year.
And, yeah,
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
okay.
That's it.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Highway?
Hey, yeah. Well, we've been cutting some shoulders and some brush and changing some culverts. Getting some roads ready to pave. We got an agreement in there, hopefully tonight for a resolution to figure out which roads we can pave here in the near future. We've been pretty well blessed, but I think it's because of all the work that we've been doing the last few years on the shoulders and the ditch and everything with all these rains, and because we've had minor washouts from all this rain for the whole month. Yeah, so things are going good. We're just trying to stay ahead of the game and keep our heads above water.
We'll save me one later on.
Just one question from Mike, you know, what did you guys decide on a trailer?
I let it go. I was all set to go on Mr. Donor's trailer, but then the night of the, I thought everything was gonna be all settled. But the gentleman here got with me somewhat. They were talking about maybe purchasing a new one. Because, well, the one from Mr. Donor's, you know, so old and stuff. But, yeah, ever since then, I just, you know, I've been keeping quiet, and I said, we'll see what happens, you know, so.
Have you got prices on new ones?
No, they had, I wasn't in the market for the new one.
Has Mr. Dona sold his?
I was
No,
more
I
than,
haven't done anything with it yet.
you know, I was more than willing to get this one, but, you know, and then when we talked a little bit, they said they might want to try to purchase
Or
a
what
new
you're
one.
gonna use it for? I think you might wanna price a new one to see what they are. Maybe Mr. Newton could even give us a close ballpark estimate. I know he can't throw a perfect price on it, because he is now out of that, but he did it for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
And I
That's
just
why I
think
work
for
so
what you're
hard.
gonna use it for, I don't know if a new one is really sacrificial for what you're gonna use it for.
Yeah, the problem is that we're buying it from a resident, and that's where I ran in.
Yeah, that's
issues
where you're still in.
with,
I thought you
that
were gonna
console
check
is,
into something on that, oh, did you?
Well, like I said, if we can find a couple Continentals the same year and make. he said
What
that
about just calling a company and get an estimate? Can you do that, or is that legal?
You're out of business.
There, well, they don't make, Continental restructured, so they don't have anything to do with that particular one anymore. We can get others. Roughly the same width and length and comparable prices, but we're still running back into that same area, you know what I mean? Because it's not from an auction, it's not off a state contract, and it's not off of Mr. Bid, it's not off of, you know, all the ones that they will. So he goes, just do your due diligence, but the last that I spoke, I think they're probably 4 or 5 months old, those ones that you gave me before.
They're all of that.
Yep. And I think, the lowest one was about 7,000.
Mr. Dona, not to put a price on the record if you don't want to, but you were asking what for yours?
35.
Thank you.
But the inside is set up exactly the way he needs it. And to make it clear, Mike and another employee stopped, looked at it, went underneath it, examined it and everything, and for its year, it's in perfect condition.
Okay, thank you. All right, I was just wondering what came about with it, because I know it was getting thrown around and they're not sure if you could purchase it or not, and then you were looking at different
No, I
ones.
mean, they're working real hard,
Okay, thank you.
you know. Thanks for the question.
Yeah, you answered my question, thank you. I just hate to see the man, I mean, if we can come up with a way, I hate to see the man hold that for us,
Yeah,
and then
he's
come to
been-
find out we're not gonna purchase it.
He's been
It's not fair to
holding
him
it
either.
It's not really something I have to get rid of, it can sit there.
Thank you.
Good.
Good.
You too.
Okay. Water? Okay, that was quick. Safety and codes?
Just doing permits and violations.
Well, you have quite a few new house building permits I see coming up in the town, so. Looks like we're building some. I think we'll, at least I thought you said that now. And thanks for taking care of the violation ones. Temple. Assessor, planning board, and Lincoln, control. Attorney?
No.
Okay. Historian? Yeah.
No, I've just been working on stuff for the 175th anniversary.
Okay.
Which is
We got the preliminary document, I'll go through that on my time then. And we'll go from there.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Okay. All right, for supervisor, got an update on the Morsel Water Project. The Phase 1A and the Phase 1B have been completed and there are no archaeological issues to be found. One of the things we're working on right now is the Fonza North. It's a bunch. It's an acronym. It's FONSI-NOIRROF, and that acronym is a combination, combined notice of finding of no sufficient impact and notice of intent to request a release of funds of CDBG money. So CDBG granted us 1.25 million in that project, so this is the end run before we're allowed to get our money to the town. The notice is used for projects requiring environmental assessment 24 CFR Part 58, Section 58.36. Upon the conclusion of the consultations and reviews associated with the ERR, that FONSI dash NOIRROF notice will be published in a local newspaper. Once that is completed and the ERR, we can then request funds from the completion of the ERR. Then it'll go over to ORC, which begins the discussion period. Upon the favorable conclusion of OCR's discussion period, a release of funds approval letter will be sent to the town. After the receipt of the release of funds approval letter, the town can begin to incur project costs for the CDBG reimbursement. So that was good news. We're on our last step on that. Mason Lane Water, bids for material and work will be performed on that project are going back out to bid. No bids were received last time it was published. We will re-advertise this bid in the Plattsburgh Press. We are still hoping to get this project and not only started this year but finished by fall. So it looks like it would fit in good as a end of season job because it's a smaller job for most contractors. The town's 175th anniversary celebration is coming up together, and we will have plenty of fun activities for all. Again, that's going to be August 12th and 13th. So Saturday, August 12th, the parade will start at noon. Opening ceremony at 2 p.m. down here at the town hall. Outdoor festival from 2 to 6 out on the grounds. From 6 to 9 p.m. is music in the Burger Street Park. That's going to be bootleg band, and that's going to be compliments of NYSCOBA, which is the Officers and Sergeants Union for Corrections, and they paid for the whole thing. And then 9:30 p.m. we'll have fireworks. We're going to be up here on the field. I talked to Dr. Claus today. Joe said that there's plenty of room out there, so that he'd like to do them here. he carries his own insurance, we'll get a copy of that insurance to the town. So that's the whole works on Saturday. Sunday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. outdoor festival at the town hall again, and we also have a DJ for music in the park down there. We had John Gino there on Saturday. It was hot and not raining for a change. So we had a lot of people there. I'd say 55 to 65 people there throughout the day. They did a cornhole tournament. Matter of fact, we had planned on doing that for one of the activities at the field day out here. And I spoke to one of the gentlemen down there that does they sponsor a tournament. So I asked if they were interested in kind of doing that one for us out here, and he said absolutely. So again, that will be taken care of by them. He also had asked if he could do at least one night during a music event down there. My understanding, talking to him, I have nothing in writing right now. It was just a conversation that he would donate half of whatever the sponsorships were through the registrations back to the town. And he goes, whatever you sell for, beverages and snacks, you keep all that. We don't even want 50% of it. So, kind of a win-win, I think, there. And it gives that park, again, another activity that will be going on down there. Any questions? Anybody got any questions on that?
I sort of do.
Go ahead.
On the fireworks,
Yep.
having that held here. Personally, I'd rather have it held at the Salmon River Park. And the reason for that is all of the residents around here that have animals, that's a lot of noise. And it could be disruptive to some pets here. And I mean, we have a 70-some acre parcel on Salmon River. It would be an ideal site to have fireworks. And that's my only concern, that's all. Thank you.
The weekend of August 18th through the 20th, we'll be having the Schuyler Falls Townwide garage sale again. Please plan accordingly if you wish to participate in that event. Saturday, August 19th is Music in the Park down there again with Neil Gillespie playing that night. Friends of the North Country has submitted the July report, so I will get that out to all the council. Splash pad project is moving forward and the gray water site plan has been completed. Give that to Mike. Alright, so the gray water report is right here. That's all completed and is ready to go. If we have any questions, concerns, issues, we can bring that back to Mr. Abella over at AEDA and he'll address them, but everything's pretty much stamped, signed, and completed for now. Unless we come up with something we don't like to see. The plot plan is right here. Where it's gonna go, I know I'm showing this to the public a couple different times. I can leave a couple of these out after somebody wants a copy of them. So look it over, let me know in the next couple days. If you see anything you don't like or you think you're missing something. But other than that, their end of
Kevin, was there any kind of a proposal for a heater of any kind? I know there was a resident, well, it was Mr. Dona, who was concerned about the temperature of that water coming out of the main being a little bit too cold for the splash area.
it.
Is there-
There's nothing in the proposal that was originally written, so it's been going on for a couple of years.
Yeah,
There is several different things you can do if you want to warm the water up. There's a basin that you can fill first and they pump out of there, but then that will require testing and making sure the water stays in the right levels and all that. Probably the easiest way to do it, if you're trying to do it, it'd be to put in some solar panels like they do for a pool. They run them through, just continue piping, and then it will warm the water up. But in any case, without a storage tank, you'd have to put it in a storage tank to make it keep up with the water flow that that's gonna have. If it ran more, probably 20 minutes or half hour, I'm just guessing. I'm just throwing some minutes out there, but I can look into it. That's something that you can add on to it after. But no, there was nothing to warm that water up. And if we go to a basin where we recoup the water and then reuse it, then you're getting into all kinds of regulation that has to be denoted in a logbook by DEC, New York State Health Department, and Cook County Health Department. You can talk to any towns that have a pool, and they'll tell you how many times the pool's been shut down by the health department. So it's just quicker, cleaner, and a lot less headache if we don't. But you're welcome to look into it, that's for sure. Did that answer your question?
thank you.
Last thing I got on the agenda is we had talked last time about it's not an the extended warranty's on there, but a 5-year or 3-year service plan for the front end loader. I got the estimates on that. It's 9,000 something for 5 years and like 4,000 something for 3 years. What I got out of the discussion the last time that we all met was that they wanted to cover it for the 5 years. So that's the route we're gonna go with that, unless somebody has an objection to it.
What is the basic warranty? I mean, is that 5 years after the 1-year warranty?
No, 'cause there's se-
Just
there's-
from day one, huh?
Yeah.
Well, they're two separate things, because one is warranty work, which would be covered under the warranty.
Yeah,
And then there's service work, like
Service,
your annual
yeah.
fluids and greasing and air filters, your oil filters, checking the front differential, the rear differential, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
all that would be included in there. And like I said, we don't have to worry about it for 5 years. And if anything goes wrong, they can't say that we messed anything up, because they're doing service work on it. So.
Yeah, and they'll actually come down here and do it.
Yeah, and he did say, like, if we needed to replace something and we didn't wanna wait for them and it was a nut and bolt or a
Yeah.
filter or whatever, they would reimburse us for whatever the town spent, so we didn't have a machine down for a couple of days.
okay.
Relatively short. For me, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That brings us to resolutions. All right, resolution 23-64. Motion by, whereas pursuant to section 284 of the highway law requires that prior to expending any funds appropriated for improvement or repair of highways. The town board and the highway superintendent is required to execute an agreement dictating how and where expenditures made for the improvement and repair of the highways. And whereas under the statutory framework, the highway superintendent is responsible for preparing an annual budget for mandated items for the fiscal year, while the town board is responsible for receiving and securing the public funds and may modify the budget prepared by the highway superintendent. Be it therefore resolved that the town board, along with the superintendent of highways, enter into an agreement attached for the repair and improvement of highways for the year 2023, and be it further resolved that any changes to the agreement must be modified by all parties. So on the back of this, you will see the agreement, this year's agreement on paving. He's got quite a bit more than this, but the next road he wanted to pave would have put him over what his limit was. So it looks like the 99,000 is what he wants to spend. That would be doing the Vassar Road and the Ram Road this year. Any discussion? Or give me a motion first and a second, and we'll do any discussion.
I'll make a motion.
Sure.
I'll second it.
Vern. Any discussion? Roll call.
Hold on,
Oop,
please.
gotcha.
It says toward Flat Rock Road. Will these be the whole Vassar Road and the whole Ram Road?
Yes.
Sorry, Mike.
Well, that's all right. Thank you. Slow. How do you just, okay.
Yeah, it could have been either towards Flat Rock Road or towards Sand Road, vice versa, you know.
Any approximate date for this? Just, no. Especially with this
No.
summer, it's up in the air, for sure.
There's been a couple towns that stopped paving immediately, right after the first torrential rain.
Yeah.
They hadn't paved in 2 weeks, they stopped immediately.
Yeah, they had too much to fix. They probably had to reappropriate the money to help take care of some of the damages
Yeah.
on the Washington. Anything further from anybody? Okay, roll call.
Mr. Hamel?
Yes.
Mr. Parati?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes?
Mr. Facto?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes. Motion approved. Oh, excuse me. Resolution.
Thank you.
Get it done, as they say.
It's a contract.
Yeah, that's the one we forgot that word they signed right after last time. We'll do that and then everybody do it.
You're up on top.
This one, man. This one, pushing into that.
Oh, okay. I can check.
I got a couple.
Now it's leaving, Michael.
Very good.
Okay, the next resolution is 23-65. Motion be it resolved that the town board of the Town of Schuyler Falls approves the following general fund budget transfers from A.1990.400 contingent account to A.3620.410 safety inspection and contingent. Those are both for 1,000, equal money. They just transfer them from one line to another. And we get a motion.
Motion.
Mike,
Second.
Reggie, any discussion? Okay, roll call.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Hamel?
Yes.
Mr. Parati?
Yes.
Mr. Facto?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes. Resolution 2366, motion by, whereas the annual New York State Association of Magistrate Court Clerk Conference and Training will be held on 9/17/2023 through 9/20 of 2023 in Vernon, New York. Whereas Donna Hamill and Mary Sorrell, Court Clerk, would like to attend the training, be it therefore resolved that the town board authorizes the attendance of the said conference and expenses will be charged to the general fund as provided for in the 2023 budget. The cost of the town registration is mileage, meals, and hotel expenses. So can I get a motion?
Motion.
Vern,
Second.
Mike. Hold a second. There we go. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Hamel?
Should I abstain? I believe.
Yeah, okay.
I'll abstain.
Okay, but you still have a position on this board even though that's your wife, so you're agreeing to people going down for the training, so, but that's fine, I just want it on the record that, again, you're.
If I need to abstain, I will.
Ask him.
Okay,
Mike?
so you're gonna abstain?
I think it makes sense to
Yep.
abstain.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Parati?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Facto?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes. And so approved. All right, 2367. A motion by whereas the town needs a janitorial service for the town offices, and whereas the town received only 2 quotes for the service, be it hereby resolved that the town of Schuyler Falls authorizes the supervisor to enter into a contract with Sparkle Clean for custodial services for the town offices. You'll see in the back the 2 quotes that we did get. We're putting it out there a couple times, and contacting a bunch of other towns. The Sparkle Clean is way less than half the other one. Is everybody good with that?
I'd like to make that motion.
Alright, so I will then say on the record that that'll be $600 a month. I didn't want to say if we were gonna rebid it, that's all.
So, discussion yet, or,
You gotta get a second first.
Second.
sorry.
So, Sherm and Mike? Yep, go ahead.
Okay. Wait, did you want to go?